Welcome back to Noise 212. I'm your host, JP Solis, and we have the man, Baauer, in the building. Baauer Power.
Baauer Power.
Fresh off his pretty crazy set. The bass in this room is just ridiculous, man.
Thanks.
So yeah, you got a lot of props in the chat room about your music.
I'm glad. That's awesome.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of love right now for your sound.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I guess we'll kind of like ask you like how you got started with producing and writing music and DJing.
Okay. Well, it first started like I really wanted to be a turntablist when I was
really?
like
Okay.
13 years old.
Yeah.
So my parents bought me like one of those crappy all-in-one DJ kits in the box.
Gemini?
Yeah, Gemini. Or actually, it was Newmark.
Newmark, okay.
Yeah, for like my birthday, and it was too crappy to scratch on because it was like really plasticky
drive.
and cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, belt drive. So I bought some like house records and started DJing house,
Oh wow. Okay.
and then from there I just kind of felt like I wanted to make it. I guess natural progression.
Sure.
So I just I downloaded like a torrent of Reason, and I just got
Okay.
started making some crappy beats.
Right.
And then just from there, I just kept going at it, and just yeah. That's
So
where I
you started like writing on Reason,
Yeah, yeah.
trying to write house music.
yeah, right.
Which artists were you following at that time? Which kind of like your early house influences?
Like when I was like younger, it was all about like Ministry of Sound,
Okay.
from the
Yeah,
UK,
yeah. Sure,
like
sure, yeah.
top 40 house music, like
Yeah.
Eric Pride's Calling Me,
All right,
and
yeah, yeah,
Basement
yeah.
Jaxx. They were my favorite, so I
That's
wanted
dope.
to make stuff like them. So,
Really?
Yeah, that's what I started doing. Yeah.
Well, some of that stuff can actually be heard with your current productions. I mean,
Oh, yeah?
like at least like the build-ups, and
Yeah.
and like the just the I would say high-pitched sounds. They're kind of like thrown into more of like a trap type of rhythm. How did
Yeah.
you discover hip hop and trap music?
Well, I was always interested in hip hop, just along with every other type of music I was listening to.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends like hip hop, so we would all listen to music and talk about it with each other. And I don't know, just I tried out making a hip hop song one time.
Yeah.
After sucking at making house music for a
Right.
long time.
How long were
And-
you making house music?
Probably
Reason.
like I started like when I was 14,
Okay.
and then till I was like I don't know 20,
Yeah. How old are you
Yeah.
now?
22.
22. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Not too long ago.
Yeah, not too long ago.
So you was making house music up until about 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and then you discovered kind of like hip hop and trying to.
Yeah, I made a couple hip hop tracks just to fool around, just to try it out, and it
Yep.
felt really natural.
Mm.
I really liked cutting up samples and
Yep.
trying to vary like hip hop beats.
Yep.
And so I just kept doing it, and it felt really natural. So yeah, so I kind of
So
found
you were
my
writing
sound.
stuff at 70 beats per minute, or were you doing like more 90 to 100?
Yeah, I guess 70. But
Okay.
when I started, I didn't have no idea like the standards of hip hop tempo.
Right,
like
right,
70.
right.
I just was trying to make it sound like.
And
cool
how did
records
this
that I
this current Baauer sound come about?
liked. It just like I said, through just trying to chop up samples and trying to make crazy hip hop,
Yeah.
and also just like a love for like crazy sounds that aren't musical, like weird sound effects or.
Such as that groan we hear on Harlem Shake.
Yeah, the lion roar.
Was that a lion roar?
Yeah,
Okay.
lion. It's a lion.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Where did you sample that from?
That came from my buddy Andrew. Just gave me this crazy sample pack full of sounds and stuff, and so it was like amazing. There's all this weird stuff, and
Yeah.
the lion roar just was so cool to me. I love that.
And you figured you just put that on a track and
Yeah.
try to make it work.
Yeah.
What's your production workflow like when you sit in the studio?
It's like I always got to start with a sample that I
Okay.
think is cool, or
Yep.
like even if it's like that lion roar or
Yeah.
like one little snippet.
Is that how Harlem Shake started with the lion roar?
No, it's not. It's not. It started with that synth part that I started chopping
Okay.
up.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just like that, like something that I think sounds cool,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think, man, what if I put like a hip hop beat over that, trap beat,
Yeah.
and then if it sounds cool, I'll just try to make it beat as fast as I can.
Sure.
Try to
How
finish
long
it
does
up.
it usually take you from moment of inspiration to a finished product?
Like I'll spend like once I get inspired, I'll make a beat in like 20 minutes, just like throw as much crap like on there as
Yeah.
I can, sound effects and weird
Yeah,
sounds,
yeah.
and then I'll spend like 2 weeks just like listening to it over and over and over again.
Really?
and
Okay.
making little tiny little changes and stuff. Yeah.
And are you still using Reason to produce, or
Sometimes, but
what's your main DAW right now?
mostly Ableton.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Any plugins you kind of prefer, or
Plugins.
you favor?
Nah, I mean, I do a lot of just like sample chopping.
Really?
So yeah, I try to use samples as much as
So you're
possible.
using a lot of the warp markers and moving warp markers
Yeah,
around.
exactly.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's why I love Ableton, because it's so good with being
Yeah.
able to chop stuff and
sure.
time stretch it, blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Cool. So how did your tracks get out there? I mean, were you trying to send it out to friends and putting it up on SoundCloud? And did somebody just happen to like come across your SoundCloud and you're like, yo, this is dope?
Yeah,
And-
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was just trying to put them on SoundCloud, trying to, I don't know, yeah, get people to hear them. Sent it to the few people I knew, try to send it around.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't pinpoint an exact thing that like got it sort of out there more, but
Yeah.
they just sort of spread. And,
Yeah, I looked at your SoundCloud page not too long ago, and you seem to have quite a catalog up there as it is, like a good 2 pages. Of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, I got, yeah.
So how does that work? Like once you're done with the track, first of all, I think somebody asked in the chat room if you do your own mastering
Oh.
and your mixing.
Yeah,
They-
I'm flattered that someone
Yeah.
asked that, because the most mastering I do is take a crappy pirated Waves plugin and try to pump it up as much as I can without it like sounding really bad.
Right.
So
right.
yeah, it's basically I have no idea what I'm doing with mastering. I'm trying to learn engineering and stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, right now I'm just trying to bootleg it, just do the best I can to
Word.
make it sound.
And do you use your biodynamic headphones to make music?
Yeah. What
Somebody mentioned, yeah. Somebody mentioned your headphones.
Oh, yeah, I do.
So-
Yeah.
they're actually, the bass sounds pretty tight on those.
Yeah, those are good. I like 'em.
So, let me see if I have any other questions. So where do you see trap music and kind of like this combination of, I'd say, Jersey club and techno and house, kind of like all coming together on a 70 beats per minute, 140 type of format? Where do you see
Yeah.
that going in the next 6 to 12 months?
I think it's gonna explode. I think
Yeah?
it's gonna blow up. I think people are gonna get tired of crazy dubstep,
Yeah.
bro step stuff,
Right.
and look for something new. And like this is gonna like, I think it's gonna like explode. I think people are gonna really like it.
Yeah?
This type of stuff. Yeah.
And you have a couple of releases coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a release coming out on Mad Decent
Yep.
on Jeffries,
Yep.
which is coming out soon, which is Harlem Shake, and
Yeah.
one other track I played tonight, Yao.
Okay.
And a couple of remixes, one of Obesity, who I guess came through your show last
Yep, he
week,
was here last week, yeah.
and that's on Be Yourself Music, and the other one is of this guy Cosmic Revenge.
Right,
It's coming
right.
out on Pelican Fly. Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
Those are pretty highly esteemed labels.
Yeah, they seem really cool.
How did that happen? Did Diplo kind of just hit you up and like, yo, I like your music,
Yeah.
put it out on my label? Or is it?
Yeah, I just got a random email from Paul Devereaux from Mad
Okay.
Decent. He said, I like your stuff, like send me some beats.
Right.
So I sent him some beats, and he kind of chose what he liked.
Yeah.
And that was it.
How
Yeah.
long ago was that?
That was recent. That was like probably a month ago at the
Okay.
most. Yeah.
So within about a month, you had an official release.
Yeah.
Pretty much
Yeah.
organized.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's 2 tracks on that EP.
Yeah, 2 tracks.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
What about Dum Dum? A couple of guys in the chat room were asking about Dum Dum and how you made that record.
Oh
And,
man. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like I said. It started with like one weird sample. It was that part when those girls say, "Hey."
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I started with that, and then just kept building and building. I tried to I was trying to be as stupid as possible. Like put as many dumb sounds in there as I could,
Right.
and just make it weird so people would be like, "What is this? What is this weird song?"
Word,
Yeah.
word.
So that's what
Well, any advice for up-and-coming producers who, again, I say this every week, we're kind of like trying to establish their own signature sound. I mean, how did you, what would you say?
I think like look everywhere for inspiration about
Yeah.
making music, even outside of music.
Yep.
Weird sounds or like the fire alarm or something, I don't know, and just try to incorporate other non-musical stuff into your music. I think for me that like really gave me like a place and like a style.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you so much. That was
Baauer.
awesome.
Big ups to everyone tuned in. We'll see you again next week. Baauer, Noise 212, we out.